Shalom and good day all, this is Healing29, back again for another indie comic review. The only thing slightly different about this indie comic review is that this comic that you see in front of me is actually a comic book freebie that was sent to me in my local comic store comic haul. And because of this being a freebie, I thought this title grabbed my interest and I'd actually like to review this title. And seeing it's also a first issue, which works really well, first issues don't really require comic references of any sort. So moving into first things first, and of course with it being a comic, we'll see at the end in regards to the story's rating, if it will lead to me basically getting the trade paperback of this. So, starting off with the cover, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that happens inside of the story? Sure enough, it does, to which I gave the cover a 7 out of 10. Now, this comic is called Boy 1. To which we can see the name of the people who work on this story. I'll now move to some of the internal art. Now this is some of the art around the beginning. And this is the main character, which we're meeting up with. Now this is a little bit of art before we move into the center of the story, or the middle of the story. Now as we move to the middle of the story, this main character, who you'll soon learn their name once I get to the story racing, wants this investigator to check something out for him, and it basically connects to, well, his past and his old man. And last but not least, some of the art towards the end. I must admit, I really enjoyed the internal art in this one, to which I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. And now it's time to move into the area of the story rating. Now, seeing that this is a first issue, it doesn't require anything comic reference wise, but it does open things up for time, and we do actually get to see something in relation to time when you see the main character, who you'll soon learn their name, wakes up at 5 a.m. in the morning, in one of the later panels. Of course, we've got some of the locations which take place at, of course, their bedroom. We, of course, had their workplace, such as the lab. We also had a private investigator's headquarters. Something connecting to 46th Avenue and Kennedy Street, which the character ended up going to. And also a place known as Dream Gen Industries. The cast of characters that we get to meet, the main character being Jadis, and you learn that his girlfriend's name is called Sylvia. For this, I gave the story a 7 out of 10, and yes, I will be picking up the trade for this. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.